All right, I've attempted to do this. This is my third attempt. And it kept feeling like something was clamping down on me, like trying to interfere with the message. Now, you know what it feels like when you feel like something or someone is messing with your intuition, right? And when you start to feel things physically, like if you feel clamping around your crown or your shoulders start to stiffen and everything, there's something where it's like there is a level of confusion that's it feels like it's existing, might have something to do with other energies or other people, either sowing seeds of doubt or wanting to kind of like attack either energetically or directly with you in conversation, your intuition, have you second guessing that. Um, because it feels like it's only in connecting that those symptoms show up. And it felt very like the energy wasn't real. So monotonous and monotone is the way that it was coming across. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. So we're going to try this again. If you feel like you've been experiencing that, let's go ahead and dive into this and try to clear up some of that energy, okay? Let me give you my spiel first. You are a sovereign being over your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. Some kind of burden or uphill battle or some like feeling like you're moving through mud, like you're having to climb some kind of a mountain, get yourself out of something. Something's weighing you down. Let's get clarity on that. So there's a Page of Pentacles, Chariot, the World, and the Queen of Pentacles. Overall energy being the Chariot, something coming into alignment, moving forward, and having success and victory with it. Like something, two opposing things finally aligning, coming together. It affords forward movement. Whatever you're needing to lighten that load is on offer. Most certainly opens up somebody to the field of possibilities, to the opportunities, that's capable of handling those opportunities. We have Judgment with the Six of Wands. So things are going to be like move in your favor. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles, please. Are we serious right now? You may have a lot thrown your way trying to dilute your intuition. Page of Pentacles. Come on. We're not gonna do this slow poke, snail pace bullshit. Page of Wands. Sometimes I ask for clarity and like they give me more of the same shit. I can't help but feel like, okay, so this very well may be something is slow moving. You're having to carry the weight of it on your own. It feels like it's an uphill battle. There is an opportunity that comes into you, right? It feels I don't want to quite say project based, but we're going to go there and then we will evolve the definition of what they're saying. Tell us more about that. Heard highly successful. Queen of Wands. Okie dokie. Somebody's fiery spirit is kind of like the spice that's needed for something. It very well might be the thing that pulls somebody in. Fiery spirit. There, you have a. Ugh, I don't know why they're doing that. This je ne sais quoi. Okay, seriously. Somebody is highly attracted to you and drawn to you. Uh, someone seems like a really great fit for a slightly more creative endeavor versus cerebral. Um, one that requires a bit of passion to it. Maybe here if on the bottom, that's like a contract. What are the cards? Okay, we're not gonna do this. No. Yeah. If the cards are not talking to me, I don't know why. They take me to they bring me to a deck. Like I just okay. Four of Wands, Tower. There may be a disruption in somebody's home. Or a change of home. Or let's clarity on this shit. High Priestess. Oh, there's a two energies, okay. Two messages. There is a disruption in someone's home life. This could be like relocation. This could be who knows? Who freaking knows? Also, because they wouldn't let me let that one go. This is the Four of Wands. We've got a union of some sorts coming together. That forms a foundation of something. So, given that there's this idea that something is being like propositioned, is a bit more of a fiery, fun, loving, creative kind of like passionate something that's really going to be successful. That someone very much so appears to be aligned to or good for. High Priestess is given like with the Tower. That's a very destined, fated kind of coming together. What type of coming together is this? Knight of Cups. Okie dokie. Very romantic type of gesture. It's an invite in. It's calling you into something. Someone sees potential with you on something. Why does it have like a very they gave me project and I'm like, doesn't feel project based, but project was the best word. And we said we were gonna, try to like come up with what they're talking about. Um Feels like an invitation into something. Like what? They're being very quiet. I get irritated at times like this where I'm like, why are you being so quiet? Which may just be present of what you are going through, where you're feeling like I'm not being told things. Normally, I have an open dialogue. Normally, I can really feel into the energies, and like I don't feel closed off from something, but like there's answers that you want to something that you're not getting. Why you've been doing this alone? You've been doing something alone. Somebody extends an offer. Let me help. Let me. I don't see a helping card, but it's kind of like let me. Somebody with a creative nature, but there's got to be some ulterior motive here because there's definitely fondness that someone has for you that seems to extend beyond just oh you're magnetic, you're awesome. um it's almost like I come in very practical to you, page of pentacles, but I have a very and I present something very um there's just the underlying reasons, but that's not how it's presented. That's what I'm getting. Am I accurate on that, Spirit? King of Wands. This motherfucker been coming around. Look at that. Yes. Yes. Okay. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. There is a match there. This okie dokie. Two things that come in alignment can finally move together. But something very comes in very practical. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles. It has a very practical front to it. Ten of Cups. This is a very beneficial, reciprocal, pour into one another kind of energy. Okay. Ace of Cups, Six of Swords. It's something practical that moves into something. Okay, we're gonna get this energy moving. It moves into something more romantic. There are ulterior motives. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think that someone's trying to dupe somebody, but when you move in and offer something very practical, it gives you the opportunity to explore. Train horn. Other whatever attracted you to begin with to them. You kind of get to explore that a little bit more. And see if what you were feeling was real. That horn's going. Okay. Here we go. Talk about the World and the Queen of Pentacles. Let's do this. Talk to me about this. So it's basically just a vehicle to try and move something forward. Whatever practically they approach you for is just the vehicle to move something forward. To kind of get something initiated. Six of Cups. Oof. Two of Cups. Okay. Well, we kind of gathered that with the Four of Wands. This is getting a little stereotypical, but let's just frickin' roll with it because apparently it's the message that needs to come out. Six of Cups is like soul contract, past life type of energy. I do not necessarily go to this is somebody from your past, as in like, oh, a past lover. Horns again from the train. But this is more of like a soul level. It's Two of Cups, soul level contract. I hope y'all can hear that train horn. It is going to town. Lord. Can you hear it? Yeah, this feels more past life soul connection. Okie dokies. So tell us about the World card. I feel like it's like, okay, so obviously endings and new beginnings, right? That's what the World is about. It's wrapping something up. Six of Pentacles. They feel like they can help you with something. Someone really feels depleted. And whoever is the King of Wands is a giver. Kind of feeling like a giver that doesn't have a place to give. People aren't receptive or accepting of what it is that they have to offer. Not because what they have to offer isn't of value, but frequently someone who loves to give people take rather than receive, and there's a difference there. Um, which is probably why they do something practical because they love to give. Like they want to. Mm, it's almost like it's not a test. It's almost like a because the way in which they give is very earth based, very tangible. Um, like I'll do things for you. I will help you with it. Like I am present in the moment. It's not just love. Like I like to give um in a very tangible way. And when they're not in the position to be able to what they have to offer isn't wanted or is rejected, it leaves them feeling it creates a sense of separate. Okay. It can feel like rejection for them, but also it feels inauthentic to them to not be able to be. So I'm getting a very earthy. While they are the King of Wands, they have a very earthy, let me help, let me do for you, let me be a participant. Let's like they are I don't want to say solutions focused, but they are it's the idea of um best example I can give you for whatever fucking reason is um eyeing something out somewhere else, right? And they would go to the links of building that thing for you because they want you to have. But if someone is in the business of taking advantage of that and using a person, so taking rather than receiving, there's something about receiving. They don't feel received by people. They are used, but not received. Um, so I can also get a sense of like, would you let me be me around you? Can I show you my affection in the way that I love to show affection? It's not saying that they won't show affection the way that you want to receive it, but it's equally as damaging to want to express yourself in a particular way and feeling as though that is shut down and it's not received or accepted or wanted, that type of expression. And so they show things through actions, through tangible uh, 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 ways of giving, not just through passion, affection, not just through words. Like they want to, they are a person of, I want to show you, I want to create, I want to get my hands dirty, I want to be a part of. So for somebody who has like a burden, to watch a loved one go through a burden and not to be able to in any way, like this is like they couldn't be with somebody who couldn't accept help or assistance or who wouldn't want them to be a part of the process because that to them is love. And so that is also rejection. And I'm not saying there aren't times where we equally get to do things and address things on our own, but it feels like being shut out of someone, like being shut out of someone's life. So their very first manner of showing any kind of um I want to say kindness, beauty, love, affection is to show up in the flesh and do, right? They are not a person of just words. But these are in very rooted, concrete ways. So they have like this very strong presence in life. And so when they show up. They want to do. So that's the reason why they're going to show up like this. It isn't a manipulative tactic. It isn't. It is if they show up in a very pragmatic pentacle manner, very Capricorny, that is their first expression of they show up. That's the way that that it comes across because you have the wand suit, which is very action oriented, and that's who they are. They're a king of wands. But beyond that, they show up in very concrete, rooted, um, everything from the mundane to they're present. Like the Pentacles is about I am present in your life and I am showing up and I am doing. I don't sit idly by. I want to be a part of the process. I want to be a part of solutions. I want to be a part of your life. And so that's how they enter. And so they're coming in with something very like real world, practical, um, rooted kind of offer, but there's more to it. There's a lot of passion behind it, a lot of um, sensuality. And again, and to not be, again, to not be able to give, they want to show up for people. They don't want to show up for the wrong people. But I think that they've discovered it's kind of like when we talk about love, it's like sometimes it can hurt to pour love into the wrong place. But what hurts even more is when you shut completely down and you can't pour love out at all. Um, it creates stagnancy and it festers a wound. And it's almost like it's more painful to not give than to give to the wrong place because it's too much of a part of who they are. It's embedded in the fabric of how they want to exist in this world. And so they show up in that way because that is sincerely their truest nature. But being taken advantage of is equally painful as being it is a rejection. It is not being seen for who they are. It's not being loved for the way that they show up and express themselves. So this person really wants to give, wants to share, and when they're not allowed to do that, um, and then be who they really are. So this is somebody like an over independence, hyper vigilance with independence of no, you can't do anything for me. I'll do it all by myself. They feel very separate from a person. They're not saying they got to do everything for you. They're not saying that you cannot be an independent person, but they feel left out because it's like a rejection of who they really are. So they're going to show up that way first, but it's not, there's something much more behind it. And it'll move into, they're going to show up practically first. They're not going to express their love or their interest or their desire in a wooing romantic way. They will show up first and foremost in a very rooted, earthy, practical, real world way where actions speak louder than words. But behind that, what fuels that is very deep emotion. And it's not that they aren't romantic. We have the Knight of Cups here. And it's not that they're not passionate. We have both the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. They are that very much so. But the way that they step into your life is different. The Empress. That's how they want to treat you. Empress is exceptionally independent, very capable, but not to the degree that they shut anybody out. The Empress is the epitome of willingness to receive and receive something well, receive it in the right way, multiply it. That's why she's got the abundance, and push it back out tenfold. It is, I can transmute this and alchemize this into something bigger. I can amplify. That she amplifies what this person brings. She's nurturing and accepting. And how you receive this Judgment card, what you choose to do with this practical help, will determine some level of trajectory. The Knight of Swords really is about a pivoting and a change in direction, that can take you in a completely new direction. Judgment is the willingness to accept something. It is the decision that you make when this person steps forward like this will dictate the direction that this goes. Because there's something about either the way that you respond or the response in and of itself to whatever they bring to you. Because it's almost like an offer / invite, like, I can help with that, but it determines how they see. You don't have to accept anybody's help, but in doing such, you open yourself up to receive. And there's something very attractive and inviting about that pulls this person in to show up in other ways and more. And acts almost as permission for them to explore other areas with you. It feels as though that you are receiving them. So there's this there's a decision to be had. Just know it decides the pivot, like what direction you're going to end up going. With this person or period, it feels like 3 of Wands. Yeah, this is incoming. It's like when you receive this, you will get much, much more than you. Ace of Wands is that desire. There's a passion, there's a desire, there's an idea, a spark. 2 of Wands is about choosing to take action towards that. It's the expression of desire. And this is like the reciprocity of once you've expressed that, it coming back. So it's almost like the way that they respond when you respond to them brings so much more. It almost feels as though it's something that you've been waiting for, or maybe even something that they've been waiting for, where they feel received and not misconstrued and not taken advantage of, just seen. There's something about being received, accepted, and seen when you say yes to this, that they open up more. You receive, like, it's like ships coming in. it opens up a path where you receive something you've wanted. And I tell you, I cannot stand that these things can only record 30 minutes. It absolutely irritates my soul. Alrighty. So I'm gonna be splicing this together. So this opens something up, a direction that is what you've been waiting for and what you've been wanting. But it's almost like it's not a test. This person's not trying to test you, but it's almost like it almost is though. Because only a person who has worked through things to become the empress would receive this in the right way, be open to this, and it's like the perfect formula. What is this practical approach? They want that. Nope. They want golden universal. Can we make up our minds? Are we doing golden or are we doing new era elements? Okay. Yeah. Golden universal. Okay. There's the 10 of Wands again. You might be somebody who's exhausted from doing it alone, but then also has had fears in the past of letting people help you, or sharing the load with somebody, or letting anybody do anything for you, receiving in some capacity. So you must have worked through that to a certain degree. Tell me about oh gosh, what is this practical? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude, the 2 of Cups with 6 of Pentacles, they just want to give and they want to be received as who they are. It's oh, they want to be accepted for how they show up in this world, how they express themselves. And for whatever reason, I feel like their desire to show up in the everyday and show up in practical ways and in their earthy energy has been the crux of people love their passion, people love their playfulness, people love their romantic, but the one aspect that seems to be not received or feel underwhelming and not valued in connections is their very earthy rooted, practical, get your hands dirty. I heard workhorse kind of energy. They're a giver. And it's again, it's like the other things are fun, but it's either not received or it's taken advantage of. And so they have those two sides of those two aspects in a spectrum, but it's like they want to give, but not where they get taken advantage of, but to not be able to give in this way and be received also feels equally just, this is just who they are. It's a part of how they show their love. They show up in real world ways. That's what they're wanting. But how do they present them? Okay. How do they What is the Page of Pentacles? How are they showing up practically for you? Because that's the first way that they show up. What is on offer that they consider like a very earthy, practical, real world way to? Okay, once again, Queen of Wands. They answered it the same way again. Whatever the Page of Wands is, they feel like it is what could help to elevate you from the Queen of Wands to the Empress. There is something very palpable about you. There, you have an energy and a presence and a very attractive qualities. You're a very, again, very independent, powerful, powerful in your own right, in whatever way you want to describe, like whatever that means to you. Um, there's a confidence and a knowing and uh, you know, they want me to say that we like the idea of like you don't chase things. You know your worth. There we go. But what is it that they bring that they feel like, well, maybe you get elevated in their mind. I think that was the original message is that you somehow are elevated because when you're able to receive, because this is a very, very I'm good on my own. I'm capable. I've got this um very strong independent energy, but there's something very attractive about receiving this person or receiving what they bring. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. What is it? We need to get specific here because this is getting ridiculous. We need examples. You know, when you walk into a room and you search it 50 times over looking for something, and you just know that thing has got to be staring you in the fucking face. And you could look and 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 look. And when you finally do, you finally get it, you're like, that was the most obvious fucking thing. That's what it feels like. I feel like I'm just encircling the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. And it's staring me dead in the face. And I'm like, I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't see it. Because it's saying it over and over. There's something very practical, very real world, very needed and just, I dare I say, almost well thought out that they want to, it's on offer. But it's not just them, they're doing something. And it's all about whether you're going to receive it. We have this is the Four of Cups. Because whether you take this or not is almost like whether you're even open to them or not. It's like a test of some sort, but then again, it's sincere. Ooh. Okay. It's like whatever you do with whatever they bring forward and whatever they offer determines whether this is a dead on arrival or if it goes into a match, if it progresses any further. That seems to just be, they're like, just know that. Oh, this determines something. This is, yeah, this is kind of like a part of, you have to be willing to receive this aspect of them in order to have all of them. Oof. Oof. And if you're not capable of seeing that when they bring something in or when they approach and they make this kind of a proposal or offer or help, like, you know, they want to give something, if you can't see the tenderness and the beauty in that and you can't receive it well, then that's how like spirit knows that this is not the in alignment. Like the person, only the person that can receive this part of this person, only someone who can receive this person in this way gets to move forward. Period. And in a way, it is almost a test from spirit. Like, you know what? We won't let them move forward with somebody that can't see the beauty in this and can't receive them in this way. Okay. They're not going to go into any kind of detail. So we're just going to have to accept it as it is. Anything else you want to say? Let's close this out. King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. It's like seeing something for the sweet, for the gentle soul and beautiful human that they are, rather than this as an opportunity. Again, there's no taking advantage of the King of Pentacles. This person has been used for sure. Absolutely. Seven of Swords is that deception, lie, thievery. That is the user. They're tired of users. They want to be loved for who they are, accepted for who they are, received for who they are. They want to be able to express without the caveat of being taken advantage of. And that is the risk of a giver, a pleaser, is that somebody who they need somebody that's equally nurturing. It doesn't have to be expressed in the same way, but whoever, like, you have to be willing to receive this in a way that you nurture this aspect of them. And it's like the reciprocity they ask for is that nurturing, that loving, that appreciation for that. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this message finds whoever it's meant for.